Hello there, artists. Today we are going to be using various colors of paper to create a paper collage in the style of Burton Morris. If you haven't checked it out already, please do look at his work on the Google Classroom assignment and check out some of the examples that I provided for you. The supplies you will need are a pencil, a glue stick, scissors, and various colors of paper. You're especially going to need black and white. We're going to start with our black piece of paper and we're going to write our name on it because we always do. Gotta make sure that we know whose is whose. And we're going to leave our name facing up so we can plan. Now, one of the things that Burton Morris is fantastic at is making these really cool directional line paintings. If you take a look at the Coke bottle painting that I provided on Google Classroom, you'll see what I mean. The lines kind of go in towards the object to make it more clear that is what we should look at first. When an artist does this, it is called emphasis. It means, hey, look over here, or look over there, or pay attention to this. So we are going to create that look of Morris's work using paper. Now you're probably wondering why you got a square black paper and a rectangular yellow or other color paper. Well, that's because you can very easily make this paper into a square. So the first thing you're going to do is take the bottom corner of your rectangle. You're going to fold it gently until the corner touches the edge and the edge is nice and flat. Then you can push the fold down and you're going to get a funny triangle folded into your paper, but it will turn into a square. So let's do that again. Start at the bottom corner, fold our way up to the top, line it up with the edge, push down the fold. Now you're probably thinking, Miss Canick, that is a triangle, not a square. But I'm about to show you how we make this into a square. Taking my scissors and making sure my thumb is in the small hole and my fingers are in the big hole, I'm going to cut the extra paper off that is not folded. And I'm going to set that aside because I can definitely use that for this project. And then I can open this up and look at that. We have a square. A square that's about the same size, but that will work perfectly for the next step. As I was saying before, Burton Morris loves directional lines, lines that point towards the focal point or the area of emphasis. Kind of like a cooking show. I've already made an example, but if you have the time, which you should because you're sitting here doing this project, you are going to make an interesting border for the background page of your project. And I'll show you how I did this one. So the first thing I did was I drew some curvy lines because I wanted to make this a little more interesting than just a flat border. And it's okay if they overlap or cross each other. I'll show you what that'll look like. What I've been thinking is these lines make this piece of paper kind of look like a flag waving in the wind. So I'm going to cut those lines, and this is going to create a wavy, curvy border for the background color of my project. And you can do more waves, you can do less waves, but there should be some element of movement in the design that you create. Alright, now I've got this kind of funny shape. The next step to getting here is to cut some triangles. Now, I've done this a lot, so I've had a lot of practice. But if you're feeling like this might be a little too hard, you can draw with your pencil. And what you're going to do is draw zigzag lines or create triangles that one of the edges is the edge of your paper. And you can make big ones and little ones and all the ones in between. So then we cut all of these out. And what we're doing is we're creating these lines of movement and action and emphasis that are going to point to the middle of our project. I'm going to cut a few more of these out, and then I'm going to do my fancy cook trick and have the one that's already been baked to use as my example. Okay, so little triangles or zigzags, they look kind of like teeth. That will create a really cool look of visual emphasis. So make sure you recycle your scraps. And there we are. Oh, wow, that took such a little amount of time. Yeah, we did this one before. So you can create an interesting border around your background paper. Make sure that you cut somewhat evenly so you don't have one side that's bigger than the other or too small overall, because we want this to be our area of emphasis. So that is part 1 of the Burton Morris Heart Paper Collage project. I will post part 2 next, and we're going to move on to making hearts and designs to fill our paper. I wanted this video to be a little bit shorter so you could really see the details that I was making. And again, we are using a colorful piece of paper that will go on top of our black paper and making an interesting border that will create emphasis. That's all for now. Tune in to the next video coming very, very soon. Bye!